All right, starting this up is super interesting, super cool, right? And I believe you guys are getting value. So let's begin as quick as possible, right? So what we want to do first of all is to be able to get this point here. Whatever we typed here, let's see it, right? I mean, we just need to see it. Okay, so let's do that now. So what I'm going to do first of all is to just come out here, come down, and I'm going to say script, right? So we'll call that script, and I opened but I did not close, so let's close this. So, and I'm going to say oops. All right, so we close the script, right? So let me just create a function, and this function would be, let's say, register, right? And do this. So I can say console.log register now, right? So save that, and this function, right? This function, want to put it inside the button, right? So in this button, we're going to see the on click, and I'll paste that there. So let me press F12 here so that it brings out the console. All right, so we can see the console. Yeah, so let's just sort of like minimize this guy so that we can we can easily click and get the console open, right? Okay, so let me reduce the size of this console so that we can see it. Yep, we can have a good feel of it. And this, I can just bring it out like this. Okay, so I would want to refresh and hit here so we can see this. So that gives us indicator that this our button is working. Now, because it's working, we can now do other things, right? So let's start implementing. So what I want to do first of all is when I click on this button, I want to see what I'm typing here or what I typed in here. So to do that, so first of all, I'm just going to say const let's say username input, or let's just do username. So that's going to be that will be document dot get element by id, and I think we use user. Let's confirm. So that's username input, right? So let me just come here and do this. So that's good. So the next is, let's say, email, and that for us is going to be at this point here, so we'll just do email. So let's go back down again. So this is going to be password, and the next is going to be oops. So let's say confirm password, right? So let me be sure how we use it. So confirm input, right? So that is confirm inputs. So this is, let me just change it to confirm. All right, so these are what we have here. So now this my console log. Now I can just sort of like change this to be backtick. Come out here, change it to be backtick. So this register now, I can have let's say username, right, comma, so that was going to be email, comma, and this is going to be password, comma, and lastly this is going to be confirm, right? So save that, refresh here. So now let's type in here. So let's say peter at test.com, and just copy that, paste. So if I should hit here, I can see, so I'm missing the value, right? I mean, it's very important that that is being called. So let's do this. Okay, so hit on that. Let's refresh here, and let's see. So Peter at test.com. Save that. Yep, yep. All right, so if I hit here hula, so now we can see the values, right? So that makes a whole lot of sense, because with these now we can now send this to the back end. So let's quickly do that now. So I'm going to remove here since everything works fine. So we'll be using this JavaScript fetch method, right? So this is going to be register, right? So in here we're going to pass method. So method, this is a post method, headers, and this is application JSON, right? So the content type is going to be application slash JSON. Then lastly, we're going to pass the body. Yeah, so pass the body. Now this is going to be JSON, right? Dot stringify. Then we'll now pass in the things we need to pass. So if you look here, because it has to be same, right? So this is precisely what it is expecting, what we passed in here. That's what it is expecting. Username, email, and password. That is what it's expecting. So we're going to say username, and that will be mapped to username dot value, right? So dot value. The next thing is email, right? So that will be email, right? Email dot value. And lastly is password, and that would be mapped to password dot value. So very important, right? So once we've done that, just here, because this is an async, so we're going to do res, and this is going to return res.json, right? And lastly, we'll do our dot then again, so el, and this is now going to, we're now going to console log what el would be, right? So console log el. So we save this, and to me everything seems good. Like everything is good, it's pretty good, right? So what we're now going to do is this point here. So I would now refresh. I would now refresh, right? So good. So if I do pizza, then come here, come here, and come here. Now let me click on this now. So if I do that, you can see, so I can see unsupported type error, right? So that implies that this is where it's coming from, right? So this type is wrong, right? So look at the error here. So that should be JSON, right? So having done that, let's refresh, right, and try it out again. So I'm going to say Peter, right? Do that, and do this. So let's hit here. Now if I hit here, hula, we can say it is successful. That's cool. That's good, right? This is good, right? So awesome. Yeah. Okay, so now that we've done this, right, the next thing we need to do is upon registration, right? So let it navigate us to the sign up, right? Oh, sorry, sign in. All right, so that's super good, right? Okay, so now that this is good, the next thing we need to do, like I said earlier on, is once this is cool, let it navigate us, right? So this is definitely where we'll be writing series of code, right? But before we proceed to this, to writing this, right, we need to be sure that the confirm and the password are the same. So what I'm just going to do is we're going to say if um, password dot confirm, right, is strictly not equals to, yeah, so not equals to password dot um value. So this should be confirmed first. So confirm, right? So something should happen. Let's just use alert since we're working with JavaScript, right? So we say password, so let's say password doesn't, repeat password doesn't match. So yeah, let's do that. So let's say repeat password doesn't match, right? So we save that, let's refresh this and let's try it out, right? So if I say Peter and I do Peter at test.com, right? So let's copy this, right? So I know, and I do 1 year, so it doesn't match, right? So I should be able to see this alert. So if I hit here, so repeat password doesn't match, right? So that's good, right? So this can only be true if it matches, right? So that's what we've written here. But remember that what we want to do now is we want to get into success, right? So we can now come here and say if, right, el dot success, right? So it's capital letter C. So el dot success is not true, right? So we can just leave it like this, right? Then this should happen, right? So what we want to happen is very simple. So we're just going to say window dot navigate, right? So dot navigate. No, I think we should use locate. Yeah, let's use locate, right? So let's use location, right? Dot. Then we now call our href. Now this would now be equals to, remember that we already have our sign in, right? So we have that our sign in. So we just save this. Let's test it out and be sure that this works fine, right? Okay, so I think I should do the else first. So let's just do else, right? What should happen? So else what should happen should be our alert, right? And this alert should just read let it read el dot data, right? So I know in data there we did error, right? So that's what we did there. Okay, so let me copy here, or let's do that refresh. So we'll do Peter in here. We're going to say so we're going to say Peter at test.com, copy. And remember that if I do 1 year, we're going to see not much, right? So, okay, so this moved, right? So this now takes us to assign. But I think let me go back, right, so that we can truly investigate and see what happened there. So back to Peter, and I'll do this, do this, do this. So let's hit here. Okay, so that's good, right? So now I want to intentionally miss it, right? So let's see. Okay, so um put this 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 and remove this. So let's see. Yeah, so you can see it didn't match, right? So that's good. Okay, but when I click on enter, right, so it still navigates us, right? But that's that's something that can be fixed anyways. So now that we've seen this, right, so the next thing we need to do is to now sign in, right? So this part here. Now note that we already have access to the user, right? So let me see. So what we need to do is um let's see. So what I did here, I'm not sure what I did here is good, right? So this is not good. So let me just remove this. We're not updating, right? So this is going to be that um this must match with email dot the email, right? So wherever the user is passing in, right? So remember that we have access to this email, right? We have access to this email. So let me just, this is Python environment, right? So we have access to this, right? So this password that the user type, right, must match, right? So we're now going to do user square brackets password, right? So this is how the sign up should be, or rather how the sign in should be, right? So let me just remove here. So save this, right? I think I can do this. So save this, right? So this is now good, right? So now let's just refresh and let's test it out, right? For the sign in. This is the sign in. Okay, we've already have here working fine. There's no point repeating it, right? So what I'll just do is just copy here, come to the sign in, come down and just paste it, right? So we don't have access to this confirm, we don't have access to this, right? So we just have access to this too. And here is going to be, I think login is what we, is it login we used? Yeah, so we used login, right? So let's come back here. So that's login, everything seems good except for, yeah, we don't need that, right? Okay, so this should navigate us to the dashboard. Okay, so save that, and let's see, input is fine, email is fine. Yeah, I think everything is just amazingly good, right? So let's test it out, right? Let's test it out. So first of all, yeah, let's test it out. So I know we have pizza at test.com. So copy and paste and hit here. So oh, so we've not passed in this function, so let's call this function login, right? So save and copy rather, then come to the button. Here's the button, there you are. So in here I'm going to say on click and pass that function, and that's how simple, like literally simple this is, right? So I'll come here now and I'm going to say so that is peter at test.com, control A, control C, and paste that and hit here. Oh, password must match. Okay, so let's investigate to see why. Okay, I think the reason is, so if you remember right there, we put up a condition, right? So we don't need this here, so that goes out. So save that, and let me just copy here, refresh, so we can do this, right? And hit here. I'm still seeing error. Why? So we're saying fail. Okay, so now this is good, right? Because this would now help us to check it out. So let's find it out, right? So what we're getting here should be coming down here, right? So what I'll do here is to call, let's call print, right? So print, we're going to call email, and we're going to call password, right? So this would enable us see what's happening here, right? So let's save that. So let's create more space here so that we can see it down here. So let me copy this and refresh, right? So if we do that, refresh, come here, paste. Remember, we want to see value here. So if I hit that, yeah, so I can see, yeah, it's good. So I think let's check it out, right? So another thing I would want to do is to, let's see user, right? So let me just do user, comma. All right, so save this, right? So if I save this, let's refresh here before it goes out. So copy that. Okay, come on. So paste, and let's hit. So, look at what's happening here. Okay. So the problem is user is still empty, right? So we're getting user to be empty. Now these are data is not being stored inside user, right? So that's what the problem is. That is what the problem is. So let's check this out, right? So let me come here and do print, and let's do user, right? Let's say um, let's say viewing view user, so something like that, right? So let's save this. So I'll go back and refresh here so that we can see and understand what are going here. Okay, so go back to sign up. Let's go back to sign up, right? I believe it has refreshed. So let's do Peter. So we're going to say Peter at test.com. So Control A, Control C. Yeah, yeah. So I hit here now. So let's see view user. So this is the user. All right. So now we're here. So let's do this and do this. So we hit here and we go to sign in. So I think the reason for that is because I'm refreshing the app.py. So if I refresh the app.py, I automatically lose all the data, right? So now this is it, right? Super simple. You can see how we'll be able to navigate from the sign up, right, to the sign in, and from the sign in to the dashboard screen, right? So I guess you guys get value from this, right? So what we're going to do in the subsequent video, picking up from here, is we're going to be having like a tax management system where you can delete, update, and so on and so forth on this screen. So that's going to be super interesting. So please sit back while we jump into that. Yeah.